Hello! Today I am doing my bullet journal setup for April 2020, aka the cursed year. For the last couple months, I have been doing my themes based off of Star Wars characters, like their color schemes, and then like little drawings of stuff that they like, or if you don't know what they like, I just do things that I think they like. And I also create a font that I think kind of ties all of the elements in together. Last month, March, I did a Harrison Dula theme, and then February was Toradoza, and January was Ahsoka Tano. And for some reason, those are all cartoon Star Wars characters, by coincidence. And so this month, I kind of wanted to break away from that and do a live action character finally. So this month, April, is going to be a Lieutenant Kaydel Ko Connix theme, which I'm very excited for because I love Connix. She is one of my most favorite Star Wars characters of all time, and she's played by Billie Lourd, and I think that she's a very underappreciated character. So since she's not been given the love she deserves, I'm just going to give it to her with this theme. So she doesn't have many lines, so the only thing we really know about her is that she's an operations controller, which is basically someone who just observes the sensor ops. A sensor op is basically just a scanner for ships, like a map of the sky. So that's what I'm drawing here. I'm using craft paper that I'm gluing in for the title page. Then I'm using all these prints of Kaydel. And also I printed some art, actually a lot of art, because I'm going to be doing a scrapbooking thing on the page that is usually a quote page because Kaydel doesn't have many lines, like I said. So there's not very many quotes, so I just got a bunch of ones from Pinterest and pictures, and I'm just gonna try out this new scrapbooking approach, which I've never done in my bullet journal before, by the way. So this is completely new to me. I glued all those things into the notebook, and I just arranged it however I thought it looked good. I also added in some swatches from Home Depot, and then I just put it all together. I cut out these little stars and planets that I printed on photo paper, but I wanted them to look like stickers, so I just left a white border on them and then glued them on the page. They were actually drawn by my friend Ellie Grace. You can follow her on Instagram and Pinterest. I'll link all of her forums in the description. If you're one of my subscribers, you probably love Spider-Man and all that stuff, so she's got a bunch of drawings of Spider-Man, so check her out. She also drew that little sticker of Connix, which I love so much. So thank you, Ellie, for letting me use that. I'm just drawing some little gold accents with a gold gel pen all around, lots of stars and stuff, and I added a pink border with a pink Posca pen just to kind of encase the sensor ops. Then I grabbed a metallic marker that's kind of coppery gold color, and I put it all around the edges to tie in the craft paper color. So I just finished up that border, and that was pretty much it for this spread. I hope you like it. It took me about 2 hours, and about 40 minutes of it was cutting out stuff, and then another 20 minutes of gluing. But if you have time and you want to do it in your own bullet journal, I think that it's worth it. So now I'm just working on my calendar spread. I drew it out and used the metallic copper marker to draw circles to write the dates out. Now I'm doing the header, and I tried to make it galaxy-ish, but it just didn't work out, so I ended up letting it dry while I made the second header, and then I went over it in black. I made a gold header below where I'll write the days of the week, and then I started sketching out my habit trackers, and then I made the same gold headers to write the names of the habits I'm tracking. Then I filled in all the days inside of the habit tracker, and it took forever, so I'm really glad I'm not tracking that many habits this year. so I don't know why this didn't film, but I drew sensor ops in the background to fill in the blank space, and then I just put the pink Posca around it again, and then for the next page I just did some more scrapbooking. Right here I'm gluing in the cheesy Pinterest quote from me and my friends Hooked on Connix board. I'll link it in the description if you want to follow it. The board has a ton of Connix pictures like this one that I'm gluing in. I also added in some drawings inspired by Ellie Grace's, and then these gold corners as accents. Then I knew I had to tie in the gold and copper to the calendar page, so I went back and covered its edges with it. And then I thought, you know, this page needs a border too, so I made a black one. And then I added some around the pictures, but this time with the broken lines from the sensor ops. And then I realized I could tie it all in with the cover page by adding the Galaxy watercolor paper somehow, which I made, by the way. It's not very hard to make. I'll link the video I watched on how to do it in the description. So I just added that to the corners, and that was it. Now I get to do my most functional spread, my most used spread, which is my to-do list. So I just grabbed that Galaxy paper and ripped it up again and used it as a header. I wrote out the words to do, and which I had to do several layers over it with a marker because the gold marker doesn't show up as much on dark paper. So right here I'm just cutting up another picture of Kaydel, and I just glued it on there and drew gold over it. Then I added some more broken lines as accents to fill up that blank space, and then I started sketching out the to-do list. I divide it into 3 bars, one for math, one for science, and one for English and driver's ed. And then that's it. I don't really have that much work to do this month because it's spring break. I did the chores chart right there to track how many times I wash the dishes. My goal is to wash them 20 times. That is my drying dishes tracker, which I'm trying to dry the dishes 40 times. So there's a bunch of dots in there, and I'll just cross one off like a task whenever I do it. So now I'm doing the water tracker. I just went in and gave a line for each day, and I'll just fill each line up with the amount of cups that I drink that day as the month goes on. So now I'm scrapbooking to fill up this blank space. I put in these Pantones and a faux sticker drawn by my other friend, Stella, which I love that drawing so much, and I'm really glad I got to put it right there. I also added in some more of those stars and planets drawings. I finished off the spread with gold stars all around. Here is the weekly spread. I had to do part of it already because I didn't get the prints until the middle of the week. But the layout I did is inspired by Sincerely Katie. She's amazing at all this scrapbooking stuff, so I used her spread as a reference because I didn't really know what to do. So go subscribe to her YouTube channel. I'll link it too. I just added in the pictures to what's already been done. The daily headers have the typewriter font that I used for the calendar. Now I'm just adding embellishments on top of the pictures with the gold marker. So those arrows are actually the ones from the sensor ops, and I thought they like accentuated the movement in the picture. So I also added those faux stickers everywhere, and that's it for my weekly spread. Now it's time for the flip through. I really like how it all turned out, and I hope that you guys like it too. I'm very excited to do the next weekly spreads and some more scrapbook pages later on in the month. So if you want to see me making those, let me know in the comments and I'll film those and post them too. Also, if you have any ideas for the next character I should do, let me know in the comments. I hope you guys have a good April, and may the force be with you always.